guys, ORRH here. Figured I'd sit down and have a discussion with you guys about some of the points that didn't get much attention while I was out hunting. I get pretty excited when I find something, and I rush things for the sake of the video and length and everything, but have some time today. I'm headed out on vacation tomorrow. I'm making the return to Mound Key in Florida, off of the coast of Fort Myers. It was owned by the Calusa. So in order for me to get off work, in order to do that, I had to work 4 12s in a row, and I worked a 16 today. So I'm pretty beat. Sorry if I sound tired, but look at some finds I found over the past few months. I don't even know where to start. It's been such a great year. I'll start small. How about that? This was a pretty cool artifact right here. This is a hafted shaft scraper. See, it has a nice little base on it. I don't think it's ground at all, but it has both notches intact. And I don't think it was a point because it's all twisted up all weirdly. But that could just be from resharpening. This was a hafted shaft scraper that would use to shave down the sides of their shafts on their arrows. Sorry, I can't even think, I'm so tired. But I found this knife. I'll try to hold it up to the light. I don't know what kind of flint this is. I found, let's see, this right here is the same stuff. This stuff looks a lot more blue and shiny, but it's the same stuff. Hold it up to the light, you guys might be able to see some translucency in it. It doesn't do it justice, but there's some around the edges you can see. Put this back. On the site where I found this Amos point, this point, you remember this from a few videos ago. This one's real nice. That was the one I found the day when my phone died because it was so cold early this year. On that site I made a discovery. I wasn't sure the type of points I was finding on the other side of the site, and that's because it was 2 different sites merged into one. Where I found this piece, my first point ever, right here. Let's see what else. This weird little blade, had no idea what that was till recently. And this point, which I found in the winter when I was looking for the point that we saw during this clip, I believe it was. But I'm going to take these all out here, set them aside. So I figured out what these were, what time period they're from, the culture that made them. I figured there was one more, yeah. I'm going to look here, see if there's anything else from that site. I think that might be it. Yeah, I believe that's it. This too, I guess. So these are all from the same time period, all found within, I don't know, 15 feet of each other. Pretty cool finds. What they are Jack's Reef pentagonals. You see right here, this is the dart point associated with the culture. This would be the knife form. You can see it has a classic pentagonal shape. And that happens from resharpening. This one hasn't been resharpening. You can see it's pretty thick. Same goes with this one. You could actually see a little barb sticking up there on the ear. And I imagine this would have been a lot bigger. This would have been this size. Same size as this point, bigger. Because this one's resharpened even. This one right here is resharpened even. But this little knife here, this is a pentagonal knife. Really small, sharpened down. I can't even tell what it is. I imagine this was probably going to be a dart point. These are all about, I want to say 1,500 years old. And if you read in the Overstreet or projectilepoints.com, it'll tell you that the thicker examples are the oldest. And they originated in the Northeast and then migrated down south. So this is some of the oldest Jack's Reef stuff you'll find. I'll thought that was pretty neat. Put this stuff back in, get it all tucked away. I'll put everything in back just right, as I have everything stuffed in there because she's all full. Let's see what else we can talk about here. I just cannot stop looking at this thing. It just never gets old, guys. I think I've said everything there is to be said about it, but for those of you just tuning in, you'll see this on my homepage. First video you'll see on there. Beautiful pendant. I'm sure it was a gorget at one time. You can almost see like a dimple right here where I imagine there would have been another hole. It probably would have been a gorget. And I'm sure it broke at one time. Maybe they tied it together, but eventually they sharpened it down into this. Until they lost it on their site. I don't know if it was a kid, a woman. I imagine a man or tribe leader would have like a glorious one, but who knows if this was passed down through generations, or who knows, honestly. But I shake just holding the thing, scared of dropping it. There's the focus. Okay, just give you guys a quick look at everything. Really love this pottery here. I don't even want to take it out, it's pretty fragile. And you can just see they tempered it with flint. And it's a really beautiful piece. You can see all the lines in it and stuff. I have tons of little shards like this off of the site where I found this point, this point, this point, this point, this blunt. Nice beautiful blunt. Oh guys, I should have mentioned with the pentagonal stuff, this knife was found not too far from it, but I think it's older. I really do. I really think there's a paleo site just downriver, and I'm just getting on it. That's where I found that knife. I found that not too far. But yeah, I've had a lot of luck with this site that I found this, pretty much everything else that I haven't shown you, except for this point that I found in a creek while kayaking on I believe it was Memorial Day last year. But this is my 2 years of hunting so far. So at this point I'm not sure if this would be a Hopewell. Not ground at all. That would have been cool. Alright guys, I'm headed to Florida. Hopefully I get some footage for you guys from there. And hopefully we find some cool relics to show. I'm out. Oh, one more thing. I figured I'd tell you guys a little story about a experience I had while hunting the river in early spring / late winter this year. Or last year, depending on how you look at it. But that time of year, it's when the most erosion happens. Not necessarily spring, but like winter, late winter, when the thaw is starting to come. In the winter, the bank, in some places, I'll draw this out. Say this is the bank. It comes down onto the beach. Basically, small fractions of this will freeze and crack. And as the water runs off from melting snow or rain or whatever's going on, this will tumble down. And anything in this layer right here will be exposed eventually on the beach. While I was hunting, I had just gone out. I don't think it was March yet. It had to be late February. Right below the site where I found all those pentagonals and the Amos points. Big section. Like, I want to say 15 feet. Cracked off and was laying out here. That's a big pile of rubble going right into the river. And there's just a big flat section of all new banks. So I figured everything in this section, you know, if there's anything cool in there, it'd be laying on it in this section right here. So I climbed up over this stuff and I got down in here and I was wearing chest waders. And there's nothing in here at all. There's no rocks. It's pretty much all mud. And there's some fire rock. No trees above, nothing. So I'm in here and it's super muddy. Chest waders on. And I take a step. I take one step, two step. I get to here, sink. It's over my chest waders. My head is just above the mud. And I'm sinking. There's nothing to grab onto. That's me, you know, fearing for my life. I'm sinking. My chest waders filled up with water and mud. And I didn't know if I was going to be able to get out. There's no one around. I couldn't yell for help because this is 10 feet above my head. Even if someone happened to drive by on the river, which the only people that would be a barge that time of year, they wouldn't hear me. So, I'm sinking, head's just above, covered in mud, water, and I find a tiny little rock here, and up here, just out of reach, I find a rock. So I grab this rock, and I'm pulling myself out. I'm stabbing it into the mud. I don't know if you've seen those ice picks for like ice fishing. If you fall in, you're supposed to jab it in and pull yourself out. I'm doing that with this rock. And my hand's falling down like a foot into mud. I'm pulling myself out slowly. I got to this rock, and it took probably 15 minutes of me struggling and trying to get out to finally crawl out into my stomach and crawl over into this area where it wasn't as soft. And just want to tell you guys that just be safe out there. You never know. You know, there's a great number of arrowhead hunters who die every year, you know, doing what we do on the Ohio River. It's a very dangerous river. If you fall in, the current will kill you, and you get killed in the mud. If you fall on a rock, hit your head, you never know. You know, climbing up on a bluff, you know, if the bluff is 15 foot tall, you climb up there, you see something sticking out of the wall, you know, you climb up and you're on the edge, you know, this could break off and you can go tumbling down to the bank. Just be safe out there, guys. You never know. Thanks for listening if you chose to. I'm out.